Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Hi, hello, my name is Loey, and by reading the title of this video, you may think I am crazy. If you are just stumbling across this video because you are interested in all things Annabelle and you want to hear about my real Annabelle doll, you should know that I already own a haunted doll. Her name is Ava, and I have some other stories on her if you're interested in this kind of like haunted doll content. So I would not purposely go out of my way to purchase a haunted doll that resembled Annabelle, like the real Annabelle, you know what I mean? But I did buy the exact same year, model, make, everything as the Raggedy Ann doll that was the original Annabelle. I will show her in an upcoming video when she comes in the mail. I've always really loved Raggedy Ann dolls because my mom really loved Raggedy Ann dolls and she had a small collection of them. So I'm really excited to have like a big life-size Annabelle look-alike, not the real Annabelle, but an Annabelle look-alike. I'll probably name her Annabelle too, and she can sit in my chair enjoying the cluster of stuffed animals and pillows. Today, I have a very like Belle-inspired look going on. This dress is from Hot Topic and it's like a Belle themed with all of like the Beauty and the Beast symbols, and then I'm just wearing this red bralette from Urban Outfitters. But anyways, today I'm going to talk a little bit about Annabelle and the true origins of Annabelle. I, like many of you, have already seen Annabelle as well as Annabelle Creation. I've also seen all of the Conjuring movies, and personally I'm very invested in the true story of Ed and Lorraine Warren. Now, Ed and Lorraine Warren in terms of fiction are stars in the Conjuring as well as the Annabelle movies. However, they are very much real people and have had incredible experiences with the paranormal and all things demonic and everything like that. I love reading on their true lives. I think they're such fascinating and incredible people, and they really wanted to help people who were in distress because of these things that they could not explain, like things that other people would make fun of them for or say that, you know, they weren't true for whatever reason. Ed and Lorraine really wanted to help people, and I think that that's my favorite part of their story. But of course, everything that they have seen and witnessed and been through is so fascinating. I honestly could probably do an entire video on some of their experiences. I could do an entire series, but today in particular we are going to focus on Annabelle. The real doll currently resides at Ed and Lorraine Warren's occult museum that is within their own home, where they can keep a very steady eye on her. Now I'm gonna pop up some pictures, but you can see that she resides in a glass case that says "Positively do not open," because Annabelle is a very dangerous doll. I should say though that the doll isn't necessarily dangerous. The spirit and the demon possessing Annabelle is what is truly dangerous. The doll, whose name was not originally Annabelle, of course. I'm not actually sure what the doll's name originally was. I don't know if it ever had a name, but the doll was originally purchased by a mother for her daughter Donna, who was a nursing student. She was 28 when she received the doll. The mother bought it back in 1970 from a hobby shop. This mother gives this gift to her daughter, and Donna immediately loves the doll and has it in her apartment. Now, Donna as well as her roommate Angie began experiencing really bizarre behaviors from the doll they could not explain. Sometimes Donna and Angie would come home to find the doll in different rooms or in different positions than she was left in. And at first, of course, that just seemed sort of benign. It seemed like, oh, well, that's interesting and, you know, kind of creepy, but nothing to be concerned with. First, the experiences seemed harmless. It seemed like a ghost who was having fun playing with a doll. And then it started getting really scary. I'm not really going to go very in-depth in terms of like explaining the differences between the real Annabelle and the Annabelle movies, but I will say one huge correlation are the notes that both the Annabelle doll in the movies and the real life Annabelle would leave laying around. Things started getting really scary for Donna and her roommate Angie when they would come home and they would find pieces of parchment paper with words like "help me" and "help Lou" littered all around the apartment. And if you're wondering who Lou is, Lou was a male friend of Donna and Angie's. Lou really hated the Annabelle doll and said that between the stories that Donna and Angie were telling him, and granted, Donna and Angie were trying really hard to rationally explain this away. They were both women who did not think that, oh, this doll is, you know, being haunted by a ghost. But when the doll started getting fully mobile and basically like moving from room to room instead of just changing positions, like Donna would leave her on her bed and come home to find her laying on the couch with no explanation. You know, the apartment's still locked, like everything is still in place, nothing is taken. Someone didn't break in and move the doll, you know what I mean? So when it got to that point, Lou was like, there's something seriously wrong here. I hate this doll. Still though, Donna and Angie really thought there was a rational explanation. They thought that maybe someone was just punking them or something like that. They didn't really think that this doll could be evil or even like this haunted. One day, Donna left Annabelle somewhere, did not leave her on her bed, left her in a chair or in the living room, somewhere that wasn't her bed. And she returned home to find Annabelle sitting on the bed, cross-legged with blood on her hands. There was no explanation for the blood, and it seemed to be actually coming from the doll. And that was when Donna decided that enough was enough. She reached out to like a psychic medium who came to her home to talk to her about the doll. And upon meeting the doll, the psychic informed her that this was the spirit of a little girl named Annabelle Higgins who really liked the doll and who was just trying to be friendly. Annabelle had died somehow on the property. It's never really explained how. I don't even know that Annabelle Higgins was a real person. But she said that she liked being with Donna and Angie because she felt safe. She felt that they were very trustworthy and she felt like she wanted to be there. She liked the doll. She liked to live with them. And she asked for permission to move into the doll so that she could stay because she just felt safe there. Donna and Angie, being normal women, normal human beings who have compassion and a heart within them, said yes because they thought, here's this girl who just wants a home. There's this girl traveling in the void who has nowhere to go and she feels safe with us. So after they gave Annabelle Higgins permission to move into the Raggedy Ann doll and the doll became Annabelle, havoc was literally turned loose on their home. Lou would have these dreams. Lou, their friend, who did not like the doll, who didn't like any of this, who didn't like that they gave Annabelle Higgins permission to move into the doll, started having these insane dreams where he said that he would see Annabelle at the foot of his bed and then she would start crawling up his body towards his face while he was sleeping. The doll would wrap her hands around Lou's neck and literally choke him, and he would wake up feeling short of breath, feeling like all the blood had rushed to his head, feeling out of his mind with no experiences prior to this. Like Lou didn't have dreams like this all the time or anything. This was all new when Annabelle came along. One day Donna and Lou were in the apartment. I don't think Angie was there for this one. And they heard somebody moving around in Donna's bedroom and they were very concerned. So Lou kind of walked up to the door and pressed his ear against it and was listening really closely. And it basically sounded like someone was like rustling around and moving inside of the room. Lou walked into the room. No one was there. Everything was, you know, correct and nothing had like turned upside down or whatever, but Annabelle was no longer sitting on the bed. She was sitting in the corner. Lou basically walked in the room and, long story short, felt like something was very wrong. He didn't feel right. And as he walked to her, claw marks literally appeared on his chest as he approached this doll. He was in intense pain and then looked down and there were claw marks just right into his chest, and he said that he knew Annabelle had done it. The claw marks were seemingly the final straw for everybody, and they decided to turn to the priest for help after the claw marks immediately started healing. There was no sign of them within like 2 days. And so they turned to an Episcopalian priest who in turn led them to Ed and Lorraine Warren. And Ed and Lorraine were the ones who really helped this little trio of friends. Ed and Lorraine immediately knew this wasn't a ghost, this wasn't a spirit, this wasn't a little girl, it was a demon pretending to be a little girl in order to gain trust with Donna and Angie. However, demons don't possess items, they possess people. And so the doll was really just a vessel and just something for the demon to move on a puppet string until it could get what it really wanted, which Ed and Lorraine believed was Donna's soul. An exorcism took place in the apartment and Ed and Lorraine left with the doll. Ed drove in his car and decided to take back roads instead of the highway, as he believed this doll and whatever was near it was so intense that he did not want to be on the highway going 65 miles an hour. And this premonition turned out to be very true, because in his reports, Ed said that his car was going nuts the entire drive. The engine kept cutting in and out. He had so many car issues, and like he could have gotten into an accident all because he had the doll in his car. So I just wanted to share these photos with you guys. On the left is Patrick Wilson, the actor who plays Ed Warren in the Conjuring movies,
with the real Annabelle doll, and on the right is the real Ed Warren with the Annabelle doll. And then here are two photos of Lorraine Warren with the doll way back when they probably first got her, as well as today where she resides in her glass case.
You might be wondering why Ed and Lorraine decided to keep Annabelle in this glass case, and initially they didn't. Ed actually initially kept Annabelle next to his desk, and he would walk in the room occasionally and find her levitating, just levitating, you know, no big deal. And then, like clockwork, Annabelle started back to her old tricks, and the Warrens would return to find her in strange places. Ed reported seeing blood on the doll multiple times, which is something Donna also said. They had decided to call a Catholic priest to perform an exorcism once more, but they had not decided at this point to like lock Annabelle away in a glass case. When the priest came, apparently he really didn't believe that this was real, and he began taunting the doll, saying, "You're just a doll, you're not gonna hurt anybody, there's nothing in you." On his way home, the priest was in a massive car accident that totaled his car, and he barely survived. Annabelle was finally moved into a glass case where she resides to this day. The Warrens report that Annabelle frequently makes growling noises and still moves around inside of that glass case, but she has not broken out. And they occasionally will have a priest come in to bless it and perform prayers and do things like that. But Lorraine has described this glass case as like an electric fence for a dog. It keeps it in there for some time, but it's not really contained. So some visitors like to taunt the Annabelle doll, and there are so many stories like this one, but one of the worst was when basically a couple, a boyfriend and a girlfriend, came into the museum, and the boyfriend started bashing on the case, telling Annabelle, "If you're real, then leave scratch marks on my chest, just like you did to Lou," and was like taunting her. Ed immediately was like, "Don't do that, dude, like seriously stop," literally threw him out of the museum because he knew what was going to happen. As they were returning home on a motorcycle, they were laughing about the entire thing, and the girlfriend and the boyfriend were talking about how funny the whole thing was, when the boyfriend lost control of his bike and he ran headfirst into a tree, and he died upon impact, and his girlfriend was in the hospital for over a year. Ed sadly passed away in 2006, and Lorraine now runs the museum by herself, and she says she cannot even look at Annabelle because, and I quote, "It's the worst thing in this whole museum." Out of everything the Warrens have ever experienced, Annabelle is the worst thing. I feel like that should say a lot. So that is kind of the story of Annabelle, and that's all I can think to tell you right now. So I ordered the exact year, the exact size, the exact everything as the original Annabelle. Of course, this doll is not haunted by a demon. I would not go into buying anything that's haunted anymore. I don't want any more Ouija boards. I don't want any more haunted dolls. But I thought that Annabelle, the fake doll of course, could make an interesting prop, a nice addition to my chair. And I really do love Raggedy Ann dolls. Like I said, my mom used to collect them, so I have a bit of a fondness for them. I will show you guys her when she gets in and introduce her, and let me know if you guys want me to answer any other questions about this story in that video. I love you all so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you all so much, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!